It's definitely something that we learned.
And it did get more difficult for sure.
All the main functions of Stella have worked beautifully.
I can see how full-timers do it. I always wonder, how do they manage?
We also did have some issues that went wrong.
We were starting to actually get aches and pains from sitting so much. Talk about the moments that really made it all worth it. We just returned from a 2-month road trip. There's a lot of things we learned, a lot of things we would change, and a lot of things that actually surprised us. If you travel in an RV, you're definitely gonna wanna watch this video.
You wanna watch this video to the end because we need your help. This is an interactive video and we're gonna want your feedback. So our travels took us for 8 weeks from New Jersey down as far as Florida and then far out west to Texas and then back to Virginia and everything in between. We learned a lot during this trip, and the reason why we did it was several parts. One, we wanted a vacation. 2, we wanted to see Jason. We also had a liquefied rally to go to, as well as several RV dealerships. So it was a business/pleasure trip. So let's talk about what worked. This worked right here. The engine, transmission, all the main functions of Stella have worked beautifully. You can see, just clean this thing out. Look how nice it is. I'm sure you would appreciate that. We did finally get to clean this after 8 weeks on the road. But yeah, we had no major issues with our motorhome mechanically. It got us everywhere. It didn't leave us on the side of the road. And that's a big plus. The big reasons for that is that we are completely up to date on our maintenance. I also take a couple minutes prior to each trip to check the TPMS, the tire pressure, check the oil dipsticks, and make sure that everything looks like it's in order. Now, what are some maintenance or repair issues that we had to deal with? Well, the first one was that we had to get an oil change. We were due for an oil change. This trip was about around over 6,000 miles. So we did get an oil change on the road. We did a video talking about that. We'll link it up above. We also did have some issues that went wrong. The biggest one, that our comfort drive did stop working. Now that was resolved and we have a whole video about that. Also, we'll link it up above. We did also have a couple of little issues that went on. One of our circulation pumps in our Oasis system stopped working, and I do carry spare parts, and I was able to change that out in about a half hour.
Other than the things Izzy mentioned, everything went very smoothly, thank God, with Stella. She was a good girl. Now let's move into the next thing, which is packing and storage. We learned a lot with this. We've never been on the road for this long. It was 2 months and I packed a lot of hashtag stuff, a lot of clothes. We're going out for 3 months the next time, shortly right after Christmas, and we're gonna bring probably half the clothes that we bought. We just did not need that much. I don't think I wore half the stuff that I brought. You certainly didn't. So I can see how full-timers do it. I always wonder, how do they manage? You don't really use at least we didn't use a lot, so we're definitely cutting in half next time.
The challenges of being on the road for weeks at a time is keeping your motorhome clean. Now you can see our motorhome behind us is spotless. I just washed it. However, we have this Tesla here that's not so much. So we do want to show how we keep our motorhome when we're on the road, when we don't have access to water. We use Release Cleaner. Release Cleaner is an all-in-one cleaning solution. It works wonders. We've been using it for years. Many of our subscribers have used it with great results. Why? Because it works on all different surfaces. So whether you have a Tahoe like this, or you have a motorhome, you want to use it on your wheels, on rubber, on the roof, on glass, it doesn't matter. I'm going to demonstrate on the paint over here. You can see how much dirt there is. This is stuff crusted on. I'm going to use it in the classic spray with a 1-to-20 solution, which is the strongest solution. And the formula in Release will associate with this dirt. Let me get it right there, some nasty bird poop. And it's gonna just release that dirt very quickly. This was originally developed for the aeronautics industry. However, people have discovered that it works on everything. We've actually used it on our clothes to take stains out, and it's pretty awesome. So I think that's enough time. I'm gonna use the microfiber towel. And this is made in the USA. There's no sulfurs or dyes in here, and it's gonna work really easy. I'm just trying to get some of the lint off of here. We'll show you it's a clean towel. Where do you wanna hit it?
Right there.
That's pretty nasty. There should be enough time. So let's go over it, and you can see how quickly it's removing. And this has been sitting here for, I don't know, months. We've been sitting here. Look at the difference on this right over here. You can see from here to here. I just want to show you on that poop that's been sitting here for months. Let me just spray it a little bit more. That should be enough. I have another clean side here, and look how quickly that came out. That one I didn't even have to give a little elbow grease on. But look how easy this works here. You can see how easy it is. Now, This is not going to replace soap and water, guys. If you're out on the road, you don't have access to soap and water. This is the solution we use, especially for the bugs up front. If you want more information, you want to purchase this, you go to releasecleaner.com. You use the discount code
Endless10.
You'll get 10% off of your purchase. Also, any purchase over $15 is going to be free shipping. Now, if you purchased a 1 gallon concentrate, that's the best, most economical way. It's going to cost you a little bit over $1 per 32-ounce bottle at the strongest solution. That's our choice. That's what we keep on our motorhome. Again, if you want more information or read the reviews on Release, releasecleaner.com. The link will be down below. Next one, let's talk about travel rhythm. And this kind of changed during the trip. So the first part of the trip, we weren't traveling that much. We were traveling maybe 4 hours a day, and then we had an extended amount of time at a destination. But then the second part of the trip, that changed, and it's definitely something that we learned.
And it did get more difficult for sure. And a lot of people say they only drive a certain amount a day. And we tried to do that. But the problem was, for example, we had to get from Texas to Virginia in 5 days. We left the liquefied rally at a certain time. We actually left early that morning. We had to be in Virginia for homecoming weekend for Jason's college. So we had a certain amount of miles we had to cover each day. Those days worked out with stopping between 6 and 7 hours a day, day after day. That got really exhausting, not just tiring, but physically challenging. We were starting to actually get aches and pains from sitting so much. And that's definitely not something we would recommend. We had no choice, but we're going to really try our best in future longer trips to not do that.
We found the sweet spot to be around 4 hours and then at least a 1 or 2 day stay, because what that it does, it allows you to move, it allows you to get settled to a place, it allows you to eat a little bit better. And our next set of travels, we're definitely going to schedule it that way.
Right. And something that's nice about our upcoming winter travels is we're actually going to be stationary for way longer than, I think the longest we were in a place was like 10 or 11 days.
Yeah. Which was nice.
In Orange Beach. It was wonderful because you can really kind of exhale and just relax a little bit. So it's going to be way longer than that. We're looking forward to that. Let's talk about campgrounds, resorts, and everywhere we stayed. There were a lot of different places that we stayed. So we stayed in really, really nice resorts. We stayed in state parks. We stayed in a ton of just varying places. Harvest Host we really utilized. We stayed in a Bass Pro Shops for a free overnight stay. We try to combine and we enjoy all of those different things. So we wanted to do kind of just get a little splattering of everything, and it really, really worked. Something definitely I think we would continue to do the same is just kind of get a nice varied experience of all the different types of camping. Harvest Host is great. If you're looking for a Harvest Host membership, we do have a discount code. We've had Harvest Hosts for over 5 years. We just started working with them, so happy to provide you a discount code down in the description. It's 30% off.
Now let's talk about working on the road, right? We have to make money while we're on the road. YouTube is our full-time job now that I'm retired from our other full-time job. But so internet was a big deal. Now, if you look in our bay here, we do keep our Starlink right here. However, we did utilize it maybe 2 or 3 times. Most of the time where we're using our Chester main event, our internet setup with the roof-mounted antenna. We did a full video on that unit, and we also, in many of our videos, did a live speed test. So if you want to see that last video, we'll link it up above.
Working YouTube and traveling at the same time is definitely a balancing act. You know, we have to plan, okay, what days are we going to do certain activities? Are we going to do touristy things? And we have to always had to make sure that we worked in our videos and had time to edit and post and all of those things. So being out for this long, it did take a little balancing, but I think we're getting the hang of it. Now, full-timers would know a lot more about this, but we definitely got a taste of it. How does living in 44 feet for 2 months together affect your relationship? And honestly, it was really awesome. I didn't even want to come home.
She didn't.
I did not want to come home, but we're home for a very short time and then we're headed back out again. We have to regroup. Jason's coming home for Thanksgiving. So yeah, it was great. And it definitely tests your relationship for sure. If you don't have a good relationship with your partner, it's going to be challenging. There are times when we had our own time, which I think is really, really important. So say I was working on a video and Izzy would go to the gym and do his thing. So I think that helps and is very important for success on the road, at least for us.
Another thing that we reaffirmed during this road trip is that we did make the right decision going with the bigger motorhome. I know you had commented, there was so much space in there that we didn't feel cramped. When we had Nellie, although we're traveling with 2 dogs and sometimes Jason definitely felt more cramped, this was 100% the right choice motorhome for this extended travel.
It did affirm that we actually really love each other,
yes.
which is kind of which is kind of cool.
That's a given.
And it was fun, and we can't wait to get back out there very soon.
Other things that you should consider that we learned. Number one, the time that you think it's going to take to travel, it never really was that for us. So for example, if a trip set on the GPS is 5 hours, it was really like 6 to 8 hours. Number two, you have to have funds, especially if you're operating motorhome. Things are going to break, things are going to go wrong. You're going to go over budget. You're going to spend more fuel. So have plenty of funds. We did have that stop at the Freightliner Service Center, and there was money that we had to pay. Next thing, have roadside assistance. I promise you, you're going to use it at some point. I think we've used our roadside assistance now total in our RVing career like 5 times. This trip was no different. We did have to use our roadside assistance. Finally, and there's many of them, be flexible with your travel plans. There was several times during this trip where we had to call an audible. We were going to be in one place, like we were going to be in Kentucky, and we're like, nope, we got to head to South Carolina, or we have to go here. So just have the ability to switch things up is going to make things a lot less stressful.
Let's talk about the moments that really made it all worth it. There were so many beautiful places we got to see for the first time. Bucket list things. I know a couple of our favorites. Orange Beach, Alabama has
Love that place.
Quickly become one of our favorite spots. And for me, the Riverwalk in San Antonio was a huge bucket list item. For years I've been talking about this. I said, we got to get there, and we got there, and it was everything I had hoped it would be.
We got to meet new friends, new subscribers. We had to meet old friends when Nikki and Don came down. We met the Shaws down in South Carolina. We went out with them. We had the ability to go to Flex Armor, meet new people down in Florida.
The Liquefied Rally.
The Liquefied Rally was amazing. And it's just so many places that we got to stay, new state parks, new harvest hosts. Again, you get to see, and that doesn't even take into account when you're driving, just taking in landscape.
Right.
You're not per se staying somewhere, but getting from one place to another, which is why RVing is so much different than just flying.
Right.
You actually have to go through everything to get to the location. And that's something that really can't be replicated.
And something that I just love that we did is that we had a lot of time alone, which we love being alone together. But then we did stops throughout the way, right? We got to see all these different people. So we,
Lauren and Daniel, I forgot about them.
Lauren and Daniel, right?
There's so many people we met.
Wander local, yeah. So we would stop and we'd see friends, and then we'd be on our own, and then we'd see more people. It was such a great way. And I know full timers probably they do that. They have to have those relationships because it can get lonely out there. And it was really, I think, the perfect balance of everything.
And we got to wrap up the trip by seeing Jason at Liberty. LU did win their football game, even though they're having a terrible season. They did. That was actually their best game of the year when we were there. But yeah, it was just a great all-around trip. So would we do it again? Absolutely. We actually, like MJ said, we do have another actually longer trip coming up. And what are some of the things that we would change for this time? What are some of the things that we won't change?
Right. Well, one of the things, like I had mentioned, is that we are going to be in a place for a much longer period of time. January, we're going to be hopping around Florida all over the place. It's going to be a little busy, but then we're going to slow down. And another thing we're going to change is we're not bringing as much stuff. We're just not going to do it. I didn't wear half the stuff that I brought. And so, yeah, less stuff.
Some of the things I would do the same, carrying spare parts. We tapped into those spare parts.
Yes.
Carrying tools. I'm not going to change that tool bay. If anything, I might add a couple things, but plenty of tools in there. There was no situation where I had to fix something that I didn't have the tool to fix it, which is a good feeling.
Yeah. Comments below. We want you to put your biggest long trip lesson. What have you learned? We don't know everything, not even close, and we can continue to learn as we head out there more. So let us know in the comments below.
Also, right over here, we're going to put a video to our favorite place that we stopped during this trip.
Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you on the road.